Okay, thank you very much, and I'm very, very happy to be here. I'm Frédéric Lelièvre, part of the executive committee of Framatome. With me, Mario from Fuel, and Pekka, the managing director of Framatome Oy. Thank you again for having us here this morning. Just wanted to give a few brief words about how we see the essentials of nuclear in the years to come, and especially how we can best support everything we do in the Nordic countries. Framatome has been present in the Nordic countries since the 70s. We've been here with a continued presence. Of course, everybody's been talking over the past few days about OL3. That's now almost operational, and we're very happy to see it that way. But we've been involved with Loviisa, with Forsmark, with Ingalls since the 1970s. Steam generator replacements, instrumentation and control facilities and modernizations, non-destructive examinations. And we continue to want to be present, and that's why Pekka is going to talk about what we plan to do here in Finland in the years to come. But if I try to project myself as to what we consider essential for nuclear, and I won't use the term renaissance because it has a bad connotation since the early 2000s, okay? But since we see a regain of interest, let's say, in nuclear. So, of course, safety, and I didn't start with the safety message. I should have. There is no ramp to access the stage, for example. Maybe we'll correct that in the future. But safety indeed is paramount. We've also decided to treat quality in Framatome as we do safety. Okay? We realize that everywhere problems can happen, and if we don't treat quality in the same way as we do safety, then we open the door to non-conformities and possibly bigger issues. And we've had a discussion yesterday morning with Fortum on things that we could do in terms of quality improvements, monitoring it just like we do in terms of safety. Everybody's aware, for example, of safety events when you do a stop of work, when an accident takes place. We're starting to implement the same kind of thing every time we have a quality event, be it customer related or just internal. Okay. Now, what's key for us to develop and to continue developing nuclear? I've listed 5 things that I wanted to briefly talk about. And I have no slides. You have the movie in the back. Feel free to watch. The first, which I think is paramount, is the competencies. How do we make sure that overall as an industry, we regain the competencies that potentially we've lost over the past 2 decades? Okay? And ensuring that we continue developing this expertise to answer the demands that are coming. At Framatome, we recruit about, let's say, 10% of our workforce is renewed every year, okay? Because we recruit 1,500 people a year right now. And irrespective of COVID, of the pandemic, or in this industrial and economic situation, we've decided to continue that because it's the only way to make sure that at the end, we maintain the competencies by training people, new recruits, getting them up to speed and ready when the time they will be needed. Okay. So for us, that is the first and most important thing, is ensuring these competencies and that expertise. The second is standardization. Today, we see too often products, and I'm not just talking about the nuclear plants themselves, but individual products, which are custom made for some nuclear power plants. And sometimes it's not the product itself which is custom made, but the process of inspection and the hold points. Okay? But the product is exactly the same. So we have to work, and I think here it's together, the utilities, the OEMs, the designers, in trying to get some standardization into the products at the different levels to make sure that we can be more efficient and less costly when we deliver these solutions. Typically right now, we're working on something, it was a 3-year lead time to deliver a product. Fundamentally, the actual throughput of metal time, let's say, was just a few months, but all of that was contingent upon inspections from the raw material. If we can standardize those inspections, etc., we can reduce the lead time to less than 6 months. And I think that's a game changer that we can see for the nuclear plants today, but also for the new build. So that's the second element which we consider essential, standardization. Third, and this was also part of the discussion with TVO, how can we use tools of operational excellence coming from outside of nuclear. You see it in the automobile industry, you see it in the aerospace industry. Everything related to operational excellence, from our perspective, completely applies to nuclear. Nuclear has nothing specific from that point of view. It's about problem solving, okay, and getting the teams to do improvements on a continuous basis at the lowest level of the organization. And that's what we need to do. With, of course, the independent oversight in terms of safety to make sure that we guarantee that properly. But that's what we need to do and to continue. Fourth thing has become more and more important over the last few months, which is sovereignty. At Framatome, we see ourselves as the OEM of reference in Europe. Okay? We're European-based. All our assets to serve Europe are in Europe. We believe that indeed we will have to provide to the utilities in Europe solutions which are sovereign in Europe. For that, we need to make sure that we help the supply chain build its competencies and capacities to ensure that. Mario is going to talk maybe a little bit about fuel on sovereignty issues, and we know what's going on right now with supply from fuel from Russia. Okay? But it's not just fuel, it's all of the other supplies to make sure that Europe has indeed the possibility to be sovereign in civil nuclear. And fifth thing, and you have a number of these on the slides, is innovation. It'd be digital, it'd be robotics, it'd be cybersecurity. All of these trends are there to stay, both for the workforce when we talk about robotics or digital, like virtual inspections, virtual trainings, or virtual support when people are at the facilities. Cybersecurity is taking on more and more importance. And we just announced yesterday a third acquisition in cybersecurity in France, CyberWatch, okay, in order to reinforce our competencies, because we really believe we need to support the utilities in ensuring the cyber safety of the assets that are in operation. Okay. So those are the 5 things that are critical for us, okay, competencies, standardization, operational excellence, sovereignty, and I'll qualify more broadly, innovation, of which I mentioned 3 key subjects today. Okay. That's what we believe we need to provide, how we can propose to support the utilities and the development of nuclear, especially in the Nordics, where we plan to stay. With that, I'll give it over to Mario to talk to you a little bit more about fuel.
Thank you very much, Frederick. As Frederick has said, I'm Mario Leberick. I'm representing Framatome Fuel here at this event. I'm very happy to be here, and I find that Helsinki is an excellent place to talk about the future of nuclear, because in the last year, 2 very remarkable events have happened in this country. This is the first electricity produced by a Generation 3+ reactor in Europe, and it's the first spent fuel repository project really going forward in the world. So really big steps for nuclear. In this context, I would like to mention some of our contribution maybe to strengthen the nuclear industry in Framatome Fuel. I have chosen 2 topics a little bit connecting to what Frederick has said. Topic number 1 is the eternal one, more safety, more competitiveness by using innovation. There I can highlight 3 key domains where we have worked on or we are working on. Number 1, we just have updated our main products in our product portfolio. We have new fuel assembly designs, Gaia for PWR, Atrium-11 for BWR, which are ready and on the market. They have proven their performance in reloads quantities already, also in Scandinavia. We have also shown that these kind of fuel assemblies can be well used for small modular reactors. So our fuel participates in the projects New Ward and New Scale. Hardware is not the only ingredient to operate efficiently and safely a nuclear power plant. Software is also very important and often neglected. We have created with this in mind an entirely new suite of codes and methods for core design and safety analysis for P and BWR based on new simulators Arcadia and Aurora. They are also ready and used in Europe and in US to improve safety margin and work efficiency. Second topic, so this is the running product portfolio. The second domain I want to mention is next generation, next steps, more efficient, more safety, more competitiveness. If I talk about more safety, I would like to mention the Protect program, in which we develop accident-tolerant fuels. Here we have already components and entire fuel assemblies under irradiation in power reactors. If I talk about competitiveness, maybe the next big thing is on which we are working is to develop the capability to bring to the market fuel with enrichment higher than 5%. And this allows what is called advanced fuel management, longer cycles, more aggressive core designs for more effective plant operation. Third item, I would call using new technologies to create new opportunities. So we are using additive manufacturing. We have components of additive manufactured fuel in power reactors, but we also use it in the development space for fast prototyping, so getting lead times down. Very important. We also use digital technologies and robotics, for instance, in our production chain for increased efficiency and quality. So far, topic number one, how we use innovation to bring safety and at the same time competitiveness forward. The second topic gained recently a lot of attention because of COVID, because of the war. It's sovereignty and security of supply. There, Framatome has two strategic axes on which we are working in fuel. It's first internalization. We really master the entire process from the design and manufacturing to the final discharge of the fuel. That comprises also the manufacturing of the zirconium components which go in light water reactors and also in research reactors. The second big item, a little bit like known to nuclear, redundancy and diversity, is the second thing we do. We operate a global organization, mainly based in Europe, with a lot of assets in Europe. Fuel means 4,000 employees and 9 industrial sites which we operate, factories, 8 of which are in Europe. We also have, of course, a global external supply chain, and in the recent years, we invested a lot in strengthening this internal and external supply, for instance, with cross-qualification. Some of you may have been involved in such projects. Fuel also means more than 500 engineers with more than 8,000 years of collective experience in B and PWR. This is the solid base for innovation and for customer support in any kind of situation in these both technologies. Last not least, a newer topic which I want to mention is we are also engaged along with the European utilities to develop VVR fuel designs of European origin. So you can see with Framatome, we are passionate about bringing value to the nuclear industry. But your input, your knowledge, your experience, and your cooperation, of course, are vital to us. We cannot do it alone in this mission. So I hope with these words, I triggered some fruitful thoughts and maybe fruitful discussion at our booth. We are looking forward to working with you on those topics or any other relevant for you. Thank you. And with this, I can give to Pekka, who will talk about Framatome in Finland.
Thank you, Mario. So, hyvää huomenta. Good morning, everybody. My name is Pekka Saabrik, and I'm managing this local entity of Framatome here in Finland, Framatome Finland Osakeyhtiö. That was established 2019. Currently, we are employing 9 persons with an intent to ramp up and sign agreements with 10 more people by the end of this year. Our mission is to support sales and marketing of Framatome's products and solutions, above all by having knowledge of the local environment, conditions, regulations, and having better understanding of the expectations of our clients here. We will be the single first point of contact to Framatome's community worldwide. In addition to this, we are to ensure the competencies and capabilities of all 3 projects by by offering employment contracts to key persons who wish to stay here in Finland as soon as their assignments with the original project are completed. The staff what we have is more or less right now involved in the completion of the commissioning of all three. But in addition to that, we are taking part of the execution of the so-called long-term service agreement what we have with TVO. Further on, we shall extend our services to the other projects and other utilities, and trying to employ as much as possible the local supply chain. Okay, that's about it.
Thank you, Pekka. So there you have a brief overview, the way we see Framatome's contributions, let's say, of developing nuclear, especially on the fuel side, with the importance it has gained. We try to support the development of projects in the Nordics. We are here in Finland to stay, okay? And with the bricks or the elements I mentioned, and to try to bring our element to the edifice that is being built with the future prospects in nuclear. And hope you can count on us. And if you have any questions, we'll be at our booth for discussion. Thank you very much.